Hi, I'm Pip Waller and this is Being Human. Today I'm going to talk about winter, the season that we're going through or experiencing here in the Northern Hemisphere. Winter's a time when the falling away of autumn's finished and now the trees are bare. A lot of the plants have died away, either to come back next year or just to be gone. It's a time when things are bare, cold and dark. Every day at the moment it's getting darker. The mornings come later, the evenings come sooner, and sometimes if it's cloudy, it almost doesn't seem light at all in the day. It's a time of stillness and resting in nature. That's what the earth is doing at the moment. Her energy's gone deep, deep within. And there's a pull for us, for our energy to go deep within, to be quiet, to be still, to reconnect with ourselves, to do more inner work rather than outer. And it's kind of interesting because currently in modern cultures, Christian cultures, Christian dominated cultures, Christmas is this great big thing which at the moment seems to start the minute Halloween has finished. So there's actually like a revving up of activity that goes on for weeks and weeks and weeks. And you can see that lots of people are really exhausted, the children are exhausted, people are tired, there's parties, there's like an over excess of activity. And of course, for the last so many few hundred years since we've had electric light, we don't get to do what our bodies and our minds actually really would like to do, which is sleep a lot more. No, the right thing to do, if we could do it for our health, would be to go with this energy of winter, to go to bed early, to sleep long, long nights, to wake up late, maybe not to get up until it's actually getting light. Because it's a time, the winter, of real rejuvenation and regeneration and rest. You probably know that if you have fields and if you keep trying to grow things all the time, grow crops on fields all the time, they get exhausted. So they need to rest. They need to have a period of doing nothing. And out of periods of resting and doing nothing, really that's where we can preserve and regenerate and store up energy in our reserves so that we can face a future. And actually when the spring comes with all of its big growth, then we're able to do something. If we don't get to really rest in the winter, we're depleting our reserves, we're carrying on rushing around, being super busy, ignoring what nature's doing. We're really depleting our reserves, and then how will we manage? How will we be able to get through? How will we be able to survive if we don't have the reserves? So that's another aspect of the winter, is the energy of the winter. As the Chinese knew, the ancient Chinese with the 5-element system, which has its roots 5,000 years ago, they knew that there was a feeling that you can call fear that's associated with the time of the winter. Fear, because really, if we don't have what we need for survival, if we haven't got enough reserves, enough energy to do what we need to do, how are we going to survive? So that energy of fear, that's very much coupled with the energy of life. It's almost how we know we're alive, and it's a useful emotion, fear. It stops us from doing really crazily stupid things like jumping out in front of a bus or picking a fight with somebody much bigger than us or overdoing it when we should be resting. Hang on a second. It doesn't necessarily stop us doing that, because we're living in a time, in a world, a modern culture that's tries to completely remove us from nature. So we get pulled to keep overworking in the winter. If we're tired, have another coffee, have another tea, keep going. And I want to try and encourage you to really take the time to rest and go within, have lovely times with friends, but not big crazy wild parties and late nights, but lovely warm cozy times around the fire with friends. Have early nights, get up late in the morning. Don't conceive lots of new projects. Do a lot of resting, because that's what everything in nature is urging you to do. And you'll remember if you listen to when I've talked about the parasympathetic nervous system, the vagus nerve and all that sort of thing, that it's actually only in the time when we're most deeply resting and relaxing that the body is able to heal itself, regenerate and really grow. So I wish you joy of resting and the ability to reach that place like a deep pool, a deep still pool where you can sink right down inside yourself, relax and sleep and dream and be at peace and look within and be okay with that. I'm Pip Waller and this is Being Human. Thanks for listening.